Yes, good morning. No, it's good afternoon, 10 past 12. Sorry, I had an interview this morning. So I've been doing that between 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. So hence why there was no morning show. Hence why we are where we are now. So just an hour or so, because we'll be live later on from about 6:30 for the live watch along. Oh, sorry, Stanley is chewing my big toe, which is lovely. Thanks, Stanley. It's not a chew. Guys, girls, we have got Atleti or Atletico Madrid at the God, why do I always forget the name of their stadium? At their wonderful new stadium. Spurs versus Atletico Madrid in the Champions League for a place in the quarterfinals. Some think that this is a welcome distraction. Others think it's purely a distraction. For me, games we could probably do without against a team that are superior to us. However, the Wanda, that's it. The Wanda Metropolitano. It just goes out my head. It just goes out my head. It's an interesting one, isn't it? People care about the Premier League. Let's be brutally honest. It's lovely to say you're a Champions League team. It's lovely. It makes the owners money. It's brilliant, yada, yada, yada. But right now, surely all Spurs fans care about is Premier League survival. Now, does this game have any bearing on that? Maybe, maybe not. We could talk about tiredness or fatigue or number of games, but look, we're playing Liverpool. They're also at the weekend. They're also playing tonight. Have I made that up? No, Liverpool also playing tonight in the early kickoff. Galatasaray versus Liverpool. So Liverpool having a trip to Turkey, whilst we have a trip to Spain. Lots of, each to their own, right? Some people are going to say it is a welcome distraction. Other people are going to say it's just a distraction. For me, I'm at the stage where I don't care. I'm at the stage where the whole club is such a shit show, such a mess, that I'm finding it really difficult to enjoy any single game. And I'm hoping that'll be wrong tonight. I'm hoping that Spurs can put in a performance, but I don't see how we do put in a performance. Now, I was reading this morning, and by the way, first of all, good morning, good afternoon to each and every one of you. Smash the like button. We're rubbish with the likes on this channel for some reason. We're absolutely rubbish. For example, there are 200 of you in it and growing, and there are 33 likes. Can we please get that to 100? Absolutely urgently. Big up to my boy, James Flower. Sorry, I wasn't ignoring you, James. I was on an interview. I've just listened to your voice notes as I was going live. So apologies. I will message you back on that. But yeah, you were asking about Maddison. Rumors are he might make the last 2 or 3 games, but I mean, how fit is he going to be? Well, look, I love James Maddison as a player. I think he is one of the real bits of quality in this squad that we've assembled over the years. I think he's been a huge miss. He always is when he doesn't play. And I think that all the people that doubted him are starting to see now why you need a player like James Maddison in your team. They make you tick. They can pass. They can score. They can take set pieces. They can dictate the flow of a game. And we don't have that at the moment, do we? But I don't know. It's really difficult, isn't it? When Spurs have had 2 years, 3 years, 4 years like we've had, it's really difficult to get the not the passion, because we love the club, but I find it really difficult to look forward to the games. And when I look at the 11 that is being touted about as playing tonight, when you look at it, I don't see anything there that makes me as a fan go, can't wait for this. And I'm about to show you an 11. Now, this isn't fixed. This isn't a fixed 11. Now, this was Ali Gold's prediction. It's just a prediction. It's just a prediction. I don't like Ali Gold. It's just a prediction from a journalist at Spurs. And I looked at the team and went, how did my football club become this? I look at that and go, yuck, like, what is this? How have we become this? Like, how? This is where I'm at. How have we become this? By the way, the goalkeeper that he predicted, again, this is a prediction, was Kinski. Now, I don't know, maybe some of you look at this 11 and go, oh, really like that. For me, I feel no way about it. I don't feel any way about it. I don't feel that this is a team I go, God, I cannot wait to see that play. Across that midfield four, there's absolutely nothing from a football perspective that gets me going. There's absolutely nothing. Like there's nothing there that makes me say that midfield will do well. Now, they might, guys and girls. This is the beauty of football. They might. I look at that midfield four and go, sure, I like Paulinho as a 6, but in this formation, it's not really a 6, is it? You've got 2 8s, so to speak. It's not really a 6. I look at the front three. I don't rate Tell. I know Tell's come out this week, talking about, oh, Thomas Frank didn't do this. And sorry, mate, who are you? Like, who are you? I don't look at anyone in that midfield four and think, you will dictate a game. You will control this game. You will be the one that gets on the ball, makes things happen. I don't look at any of that front three. Kolo Muani does not want to be here. He may grab a goal. And people will go, you're wrong. No, well, I'm not, right? I'm not wrong because he's been absolutely dreadful. Richarlison. Again, what is this? Year 4? Is this year 4? Year 5? I don't even know. Year 4, I'll go with. He joined the year before Kane went. I think it's the third season. Yeah, so season 4. Don't really feel anything about Richie. He works hard. I'm never going to take that away from him. But I look at this and go straight away. The obvious omission is Xavi Simons. Now, I don't, guys, please don't. I don't know if this is going to be the 11. I can't say this more. But if this was the 11, I would be so disappointed that the one player that can be the link, you need a link between the back and the front. You need a link. And there is zero link in that 4 in midfield. There's zero link. And I don't know. I look at that and I go, do I have hope for the game tonight? Well, my hope would be that it battles, that it works hard, that it fights. Do I see quality in that team? I see absolutely none. I see absolutely none. And I don't know, maybe I'm harsh. I say this all year, maybe I'm harsh. I mean, these lot lose games so regularly that I don't think I am being harsh. I don't think I am being harsh at all. But I look at this and I go, how have Spurs, first of all, how are we in the Champions League with players like this? Like this absolutely baffles me. It baffles me. But we are. That's where we're at. This is the team we've got. This is where we're at. Now, the other players that wouldn't play if this was the 11, you'd have Solanke, Simmons, you'd have Papasar, Conor Gallagher, Radu Dragusin if he's fit. I'm not sure if he's fit. Other than that, this is where we're at. This is where we're at. And I might be wrong. I might be very wrong if this is the 11. And obviously, guys, I'm starting to watch along tonight at 6:30. So we'll have all the build up and the lives, the team news coming in. If this was the 11, I truly worry about Tottenham Hotspur. I truly worry about Tottenham Hotspur. And this isn't just for tonight's game at Atleti. You think we played against Crystal Palace, and again, the midfield that the manager put out was, again, there no one there No one there that can pass a football. There's no one. And I don't mean the odd pass. I mean somebody that's their natural game. I keep hearing how great Gray is because he passed a few balls against Crystal Palace. Tell me, listen, again, as I said, this was only a prediction from Ali Gold. But again, I'll be honest. I don't like the back three, really. I think that this back three is all over the place. I don't think it's a well-oiled back three because it's never had the time to become a well-oiled back three. I don't like Spence at left wing back because he offers you no width. He can't get forward. I also think that this formation, I think you're absolutely right. I think you're absolutely right. I think we need three. I don't think the five. I don't like the five, but I do feel that we need three men in that midfield. This, for me, will get overrun. This, for me, will get overrun. Because what Atleti do, they play their version of a 4-4-2, but they always have one of their forwards dropping in. So one of their wide players squeezes into the middle and it makes a free. And I can't be angry, can't be upset, can't even be sad about it. It's just what it is. This is where we are. I don't know. Let me know what would you guys do tonight? Honestly, I'm at that stage where, you know, I can't sit here and preach about football anymore. I don't know. I don't know what we are. I don't know what we're heading towards. I don't know what the plan is. I don't know. You buy a playmaker, whether we think he's been great or not. How can you buy a playmaker like Xavi Simons and then you get to these must-win games like against Crystal Palace and then not so much a must-win game, but then tonight and don't play him? Now, one thing we do know is that Xavi Simons will fight. Whatever you think of him, he will fight. He will work hard. He will try. And I look at this and I go, I'm so sorry, guys. I honestly, where I do feel quite sad is I'd love to sit here and be really happy as a Spurs fan. I'd love to sit here and say to you, I'm really excited to play Athletico Madrid tonight. I'd love to say to you, oh, he's good. I'm excited to watch him play. But tell Richarlison and Mawani. But again, people say, sorry, Phil, people say, let them off the reins. What reins? These players don't play that way. They're not capable of that. These are the sort of things that people keep saying, but you have to have the right players for players to go off the reins and play. This is what happens when you don't have a good squad. And guys, I truly wish my channel was more positive for you. I do. Somebody messaged me last night and said, your channel's so negative. And I said, look, I'm really wanting to be positive. I'm wanting, sure, but again, you're not, again, this is the problem. You're not really thinking then about the makeup of the team. If you go into a home game, how can you not have a creator in your team? Right? When you're saying Xavi was awful against Fulham, you do know that Xavi was played out on the left wing in a 4-4-2 against Fulham. Right? This is where I do think that fans like you, I'm going to say it, I think we do deserve a little bit of what we get. I do think we deserve it. If we're going into games and we're saying, oh, well, Xavi didn't deserve to. You tell me, from that Fulham game, who deserved to play the next game? Really? Really, who deserved to play the next game? Everyone picks on the one player. This guy, oh, Xavi didn't deserve to play. Cool. Did anyone have a good game against Fulham? Right? For me, whatever we think of Xavi Simons, and we know he's not had a great season. We don't know if he'll work out long term, but we can see ability in him, right? we can see, I don't think, well, Gray had a good game against Fulham. I don't think he had a good game against Fulham. I thought he did some, again, I think we're confusing good games with good moments, right? I think we're confusing it. I see Archie Gray made a couple of good passes the other night and everyone goes, oh my God, he was really good. I think he was really good. I think he did some nice moments. Anyway, we digress. Xavi Simons is the only recognized technical footballer in this squad right now. Right? This is the only recognized technical footballer. I think you'll all agree with me on that. I think if anyone else is going to pretend that the rest are real technical footballers, yeah, then I think we're lying to ourselves. Kudus is a technical footballer. Kulu is. Maddison is. These are technical footballers. They're all not available. That leaves you with Xavi Simons as the only technical footballer. Surely he's got to play. Surely. Whether you think he's been great or shit, surely he's got to play. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe he does. He didn't play against Palace. And in the first, was it 24 minutes, first 25 minutes against Palace, we had, they had 84% possession. And this is what happens when you play a team like that. None of them are capable of holding on to a football. That ball will bounce back off Tell, Richarlison and Mawani. It will bounce back from Spence because he's not left-footed. Porro loves giving the ball away. And Graham Paulinho aren't technical players who put their foot on the ball and can pass. So I can see if that team plays, what happens is the ball will go forward, but it won't stick. It won't stick. And this is the problem. And this isn't about tonight's game. Like this isn't about, oh my God, I really think we can beat Atletico. I don't. I feel a bit lost. Guys, I don't mind admitting, right? I don't mind admitting. I feel lost as a Spurs fan. I feel lost. I mean, I'm arguing with people last night that are trying to say that, ENIC and Levy didn't ruin the club and they haven't done it. And I'm just like, well, this is where we are, right? But I feel lost. I feel lost as a Spurs fan. I feel lost as to where is my optimism coming from. I feel lost that none of these players I actively want to watch. Back in the day, there was always somebody that you like watching. I liked watching players like Darren Anderton. I'm trying not, obviously I can go to Hoddle and Waddle, but I loved watching the Darren Andertons play. I loved watching people like Tommy Huddleston could pass a football. Nico Cranchard, technical player. Notice I'm not going to the Bales and the Kanes. I'm trying to keep it. Just at the moment, I feel lost and I apologize. I apologize for that. I feel lost. I feel like we spend all day, every day. Everyone's right. Everyone's wrong. Everyone's point scoring. Everyone's a better fan than everyone else. But I just feel lost. I feel lost. I don't know what this club is. And we should be going into this game tonight. We should be going into this game tonight excited. It's Atleti away. We should be excited. And I'm not. I've woken up feeling nothing for the game. Now, maybe when the game starts, maybe Spurs win it and you go, God, what a performance. But aren't we in a position where we kind of know how this game is going to go? Tell me if I'm wrong, guys. We kind of know how the game's going to start. Atleti will get the ball. They'll keep hold of it. We'll be a mess. We'll have gaps in behind us. We'll put it forward. It won't stick. It will just come bouncing back. Somebody will put in a tackle and we'll pretend they had a good game. Guys, my front door's gone. Can you bear me 1 minute? Apologies. Sorry. It's Daz, you calling me babe? You calling me babe? Hello, babe. Apologies. Where were we? Someone was blowing me kisses, weren't they? Somebody was blowing me kisses. On a serious note, yeah, guys, I just feel a bit sad with it, if I'm honest. I just feel a bit sad with it. As I said, I've never seen such a bad squad at Tottenham. I mean, maybe if there's people my age or above that want to try and throw out their worst squads, and maybe even the younger fans, if they want to pretend or pretend. Sorry, I'm reading the word pretend in front of me because I've got it for another point. If anyone wants to tell me they're different squads, I don't know where the quality is. There is no quality in this squad that gets me excited for this game. If you look at oh, sweetheart, I'll come and see you for a hot chocolate anytime. And again, right, Maris, I'm just going to get rid of your stupid. Right, Conte and Jose are two of the world's best strikers in their team. Just stop. Marius, I'm not doing this with you today. Just stop doing it. Stop, right? Just stop. This is ridiculous. Conte and Jose had Kane and Son, right? Kane and Son. If Spurs had Kane and Son now, we're not in this position, right? It's just common sense. Look, for me, this is for me personally the worst squad as a collective. Like no stars, no individual where I go, core, you. I find it all very, very limited. I find it all very meh. I don't sign up to this. These are better than they're showing. The last 3 years of data tells you that that's not true. Everyone's sending me kisses in the chat. This is extremely, extremely worrying. But hello, kisses to each of you. I think from a technical standpoint, this is the worst squad I've seen. From technical ability, from a creative standpoint, I mean, if Maddison's fit, I think Maddison's a great creative footballer. I'm just looking at it, and even no. Even when everyone's fit, there's no star. There's no Kane. There's no Son. There's no Modric. There's no Bale. There's no Berbatov, Sheringham, Waddle, Hoddle, Clive Allen, Gary. There's no. We've got our forwards are meh. Richarlison, Tell, Mawani. This is Solanke. This is meh. Just meh. Only my opinion, right? I don't like bad footballers. I like technical footballers that make stuff happen. I like people who are comfortable at receiving the ball, know where they're shifting it to. Good first touch, scan the pitch. I don't see it here. Maddison, I really like. I think Maddison technically Maddison's what I like in a footballer. Right? Maddison is what I like in a footballer. I think Maddison is up there. He's got it. Manipulates the ball well. Knows where his next pass is going to go. Right foot, left foot, skill, goals, assists. Listen to me. Those squads to the late 90s, to the early 90s, we always had a star in there. Somebody that made me want to watch. Somebody that you went, he'll do something. Right now, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. I'm not saying we've always had great squads. I'm not at all. I'm not saying that. But for how much money has been spent on this shambolic squad, I just can't get with it. I just can't get with it. It's not enjoyable to watch this Spurs team play. It's not enjoyable. Was it enjoyable under Jose and Conte? No, but they had Kane and Son. Those two made it. They would do stuff in a game. Spurs could be crap for 90 minutes. Kane's going to get something out of nothing. Son's going to get something out of nothing. Right? Just for just for context, in that season where Conte got top 4, Son and Kane got 73 GA between them. 73 GA. That is ridiculous levels of elite. That is just ridiculous. Look, we've had some, and this don't get me wrong, in the early in the 90s and the early noughties, we had some crap squads and sure, but for how far we've fallen, I'm so disillusioned. Like, we're at the stage as fans where we are praising when players just do a basic. So the other night, saw Archie Gray. It was nice. He had a little link-up play. He got the ball, controlled it, passed it in someone, got it again, moved on, and got a cross in. I was like, nice. We now see that and go, cool, what a good game. And you're like, well, okay, these are the basics. This is what most teams do on a basic day. But we're there praising that. We're praising the ones that work hard. That's how bad we've got technically, that we're praising the ones that work hard. Not saying they shouldn't be praised for working hard, but it should be a bare minimum, right? And it's each to their own, right? Each to their own. If anyone enjoys watching these Spurs players, I've got nothing against you. You knock yourself out. But for all the players I've seen down the years, this isn't an enjoyable set of footballers at all. Look, am I going into tonight of optimism? No. Does that mean we lose? No. Does it mean we win? No. Spurs, never say never. I always say this. If someone wakes you up, if you went to sleep and someone woke you up 2 hours after a game and they said, Spurs lost, you'd go, yeah, standard. Of course, Spurs nicked a result, you'd go, okay, doesn't surprise me. Spurs drew. Like, the problem is with this, I don't know where the quality is coming from. I don't know. Give me Kudus, give me Maddison. I'm starting to see it. Give me Kudus, give me Maddison. So the injuries, of course, they take a toll. They take an effect. Of course they do. Of course they do. But I look at the midfield. I don't see anything in our midfield from a technical standpoint. I don't see anyone that can get on the ball, anyone that can do things. I think Tell is pony. I do. I think he is poor. Works hard. I'll give him that. I don't rate Richarlison. Solanke, very, very average for me. Mawani, what an enigma. Clearly a talented footballer. Clearly doesn't want to be here. I look at someone like Dominic Solanke. For all the praise Dominic Solanke's got 29 years of age or whatever, and he's had one good season in his career. And that signing for me almost summed up Tottenham as a club. It almost summed up that that's what we do as a football club. It kind of summed it up for me. Not only had we got Richarlison 2 years earlier, only Spurs could buy Richarlison, lose Kane, buy Solanke. And you go, how have we gone from that to that? But, hey, look, again, Solanke's not the worst player I've ever seen in a Spurs shirt, but it's bang average. It doesn't do anything for me. He might grab the odd goal. He does grab the odd goal. And we're in an era, aren't we now, where when a player scores a goal, people go, gutted, you didn't like him. Yeah? Football player scores goal doesn't mean I have to like them. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know. So, Marios, mate, listen. Marios, I'm not going to do this dance with you, right? If you think that the right way to go right now is chucking in a 17-year-old Luca Williams-Barnett, who is very slight in frame, into a relegation battle, then that says more about you. Just stop, Marius. You've been annoying everyone in my chat for months now. Just stop. You go against the grain on everything. Everything. There is a reason none of our last 3 managers have played Luca Williams-Barnett. Have you ever thought that maybe he's not ready yet for this type of environment? Stop. How many times have you watched Luca Williams-Barnett? You've never seen him up against grown men. You have no idea his mentality, his personality. You don't know that he is ready to play against men in a relegation battle or against Atletico Madrid's midfielders in the Champions League. Stop this. This is ridiculous. When I've watched him play in the youth leagues, he looks a talent. I'm not going to deny that. He looks really talented. But again, fans like you who don't go to watch the youth team play are going to pretend, oh, just chuck in Luca Williams-Barnett. You saw him in the EFL Cup for about 8 minutes against Doncaster, who are a League One or League Two side. Just stop. Just stop. This is ridiculous. Guys, surely we're not at the stage where we're really entertaining these conversations, are we? Just, can we stop this? Can we just stop this, right? We keep doing this thing where people who don't know players are pretending they know the players. We've got to stop this. Now, there was an article yesterday from, was it the Telegraph? Guardian? Telegraph? Guardian, one of them, talking about a massive overhaul. A massive overhaul in the summer. And we can only but hope. I can only but hope. As someone who does not rate this squad, I can only but hope. And people can sit there and people can argue with me all day long. This squad, this squad, this, these players, this. Sorry, my eyes and the 3 years of results tell me that nothing you're saying makes sense. There might be the odd player who'll do well in a system. Yeah. But Jordan, and Jordan, it's this. It's this. And this is the difference between people that don't understand how youth football works. There are many players who are absolutely superb at youth level, right? You get chucked in to a senior team, it is a different ball game. It is a different ball game. You ask the youth players, when they go and train with the first team, the shock and it's like, wow, this is quick, this is fast, this is strong. It is very different to what fans who just go, just play the 17-year-old. Sure, I want to bring in a Luca Williams-Barnett, right? I want to bring in, just using him as an example, I would like to bring in a Luca Williams-Barnett to a team that's playing well. You bring in a Luca Williams-Barnett when you've got a settled team, a settled formation, a strategy, a plan, an ethos. We haven't had that for years. And fans suggesting that you look, we're changing formation every game. But don't worry. Let's just drop in Luca Williams-Barnett as a 17-year-old. Let's just bring in a 17-year-old. Right? You can't do you can't do that. Clubs are not doing that for a reason. Again, technically, he looks a very good young player. Looks like there's a lot of talent, a lot of skill. But the problem is, and I can't believe we're doing this again. Every time we lose a game, people go, yeah, well, Luca Williams-Barnett will solve it. Just stop, please. It's really silly. No manager in a relegation battle is going to drop their 17-year-old kids into the first 11. It's not going to happen. Unless you've got no one else fit, they're never going to do it. They're never going to do it. And we didn't just drop Harry Kane in. Harry Kane had been on loan at, let me get this right, Leicester, Norwich, Millwall, Orient. Now I've got to go and find Harry Kane. I just wish that the same people were doing the same thing every day would actually go and do their homework on the subjects they're talking about and stop hiding behind, it's my opinion. do some homework, right? Harry Kane went on loan to Leyton Orient, Millwall, Norwich, Leicester City, right? And in those loan games, do you know how many games he played? Right? So he had 20, 40, 47, 57. He had 69, 68 games on loan as a youngster, right? And he came into the first team properly in 2014, right? In 2014. Right? He was 20, 21 when he first came into the team properly. This is not the same as being a 17-year-old kid. So please, can we stop this? It's got to. Yes, of course, I would rather Yves Bissouma than Luca Williams-Barnett right now. Yes, one is a grown adult who has been there, seen it, and done it, and is a senior pro. Yes, any manager in the world would pick Bissouma over Luca Williams-Barnett. Absolutely, Ben. It could ruin their careers. Right, this is the point. This is great point, Darren. This is what people like Marios don't get. Playing against other youth players is very, very different, right? Very, very different. I don't believe any manager. Well, if I'm wrong and someone can give me examples, I'll take it. But which managers, which football clubs, guys, right now would pick Luca Williams-Barnett over Yves Bissouma, who is a seasoned international pro footballer with bags of Premier League experience? By the way, if I'm not wrong, tell me if my memory escapes me. Didn't Yves Bissouma play centre mid as Tottenham Hotspur won the Europa League? like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? My biggest worry isn't who's playing, it's how are they playing them at the moment? That's my biggest worry, right? I want to see, guys, I want to see, right? I'd love Spurs to be able to produce loads of youth academy players that go on to be top footballers. Of course, who doesn't? Everyone wants to see that. But on the same side of that coin, they have to be ready, right? Hardly any youth players make it in football. It's something like 0.012%. It is like that. It's like that. If we're looking at that size, it's like that down there that make it. Why? Because there's a huge difference between academy and Premier League. There's a huge difference. A massive difference. Troy Parrott, for example, couldn't stop scoring in the youth leagues, could he? Do you remember? Troy Parrott could not stop scoring in the youth leagues. Couldn't stop scoring in the youth leagues. Whenever I watched him play in the first team for Tottenham, it was like, nah, mate, you ain't got it. You ain't ready. Now, that doesn't mean he hasn't gone on to have a nice career, like he's doing well in Holland, but we're not talking about dropping someone into Bromley's first team. I use Bromley because they're down the road from me. You know, this isn't Bromley going, oh, let's give that 17. This is Tottenham Hotspur. This is Premier League. We're talking about Premier League survival. We're talking about hundreds of millions of pounds at stake. And we want to drop a 17-year-old who's very slight. He's very, very slight into central midfield in a central midfield battle against top seasoned pros. So tonight, I don't know who the two central midfielders will be, but somebody like Koke, right? A seasoned pro, been there, seen it, done it, international. We want to drop Luca Williams-Barnett in against Koke of Atletico Madrid. Liverpool are going to play Alexis McAllister and Gravenberch probably as their two central midfielders. You want to drop Luca Williams-Barnett in against those two. Marcus Llorente, yeah, like they've got loads, right? Buena, and yeah. You just can't. You can't do it. For example, let's look at Mikey Moore right now, right? Let's look at Mikey Moore. Mikey Moore, doing okay. He's not tearing up the world with goals and assists. But when I've when I've watched Rangers a few times, does some nice stuff, looks a nice little footballer. But again, very different doing it down in the Scottish League versus the Premier League, right? Also, it's not as though Mikey Moore is scoring 20 goals and getting 15 assists. And you know why? He's a young player that's learning his trade. Let him learn his trade. He's in the right place. Let him learn his trade. People that say they want Mikey Moore, they want Vuskovic, we want them because we haven't bought properly. We've bought them because we got a shit squad. But then people say we haven't. If we haven't got a shit squad, why do we want these young players who should be out on loan learning their trade? Vuskovic is absolutely in the right place. Absolutely in the right place. Getting 90 minutes week in, week out. Young 18-year-old centre-half. Bang. That's how you do it. Boom. Get him out. Get him playing. Brilliant. Then bring him back. Right? Or we could have him at Spurs, sitting on a bench and he gets a few minutes here or there and he's not developing. Now, man, I think Vuskovic is slightly different because I think Vuskovic is a beast of a lad, isn't he? He's a physical specimen. I don't think the physical side of the game is going to faze him. But young players like Dane Scarlett, who's not so young, I mean, relative to my age, he's a baby. But Dane Scarlett's another one. For years, I've heard people go, Scarlett should play. Scarlett should play. Give Scarlett. Whenever you watch Scarlett play, you go, yeah, you're not good enough. And it's the harsh reality. It's the harsh reality. And you know what? The bigger clubs, their fans are harsh. They are, you're not good enough. We don't want you. Spurs fans, we will gas up anyone. We will gas up anyone with a pulse that makes a 5-yard pass. Right? For example, someone said to me the other day, but would you take Mikey Moore? But now I'm saying I'd absolutely leave Mikey Moore where he is. Absolutely. He's 18 years of age. He's learning his trade. Brilliant. Don't let Mikey Moore be embroiled in the shit show that is Tottenham right now. Let him learn. Let him learn. Let him grow. Don't punish these youngsters by chucking them into an absolute shambolic mess that we are. Don't punish them. Don't ruin their confidence. And I think the interesting thing with this is, I think the youth conversation is always an interesting one because you've got the age-old argument. You don't know until you play them. Sure. But there's a reason why a lot of managers don't play them because they've got better pros. They've got more senior players that are physically ready, that are mentally ready. Like we don't know how many youngsters are mentally ready. There's a huge difference, right? Look at Ravel Morrison. Ravel Morrison was one of the best technical young players I've seen. If anyone knows who I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. But he had all sort up there, just weren't mature. Up there, couldn't get it together. Right? And a player that could have gone on to have a great career as one of the best players this country's produced has had a bit part career, hasn't he? Played here, there, not really got going. And this is the problem for all fans that talk like they know every 17-year-old and 18-year-old and how good they are and how ready they are. You don't know it yet because we're not with them day in, day out. You've got to remember, their development manager in the youth teams, their club liaison, they'll all be given a club liaison. The first team manager, they'll all be having these conversations as to, I like him. Is he ready? Not sure he's ready. I like him. I like his development. This is one to watch, but he's not. But when you got fans just going, just put him in. Listen, I watched the UEFA Youth League the other day, and Spurs got battered. And Luca Williams-Barnett did some nice things. I mean, he's got it in his feet. He's a technical footballer. Yes, he's got lovely, low center of gravity, good dribbling, likes carrying the ball. Really nice little footballer. But again, The Spanish lads just knocked him off the ball in midfield. They just knocked him off. Physically, he couldn't cope. Ability-wise, absolutely. But physicality, he could not cope. And we got fans that are going, well, don't worry about that in the youth league. Just drop him in the Premier League in a relegation battle. And unfortunately, you're always going to get that. You're always going to get that, right? I've heard this for years. This young player, that young player. I watched the game watched the other day, Oxford versus somebody. Oxford won. Didn't really notice Jamie Donnelly on the pitch. Couple of nice touches, but again, people are going, oh, Jamie Donnelly should be playing. Why? Because you've seen them in the youth games. Huge difference. Huge difference. So sometimes we have to trust the pros. Sometimes you have to trust the managers and the coaches that are making these decisions. And sometimes we've got to remember that not every amazing young footballer is going to have an amazing career. But every year, fans pick 5, 6 young players who they think are going to be the next big ones. Every year, none of them actually make it. Every year, but he could. And look, I'll tell you what I mean by this. If you look at, let's look at a young player that's thriving. And by the way, I think he's 2021 now. You look at someone like Nico Riley, right? Nico Riley at Man City. Powerful, tall, powerful, technically very good as a footballer, right? What age did Pep start introducing him into that first team? Let's have a look. Right, let's have a look at Nico O'Reilly, right? Nico, right? So Nico O'Reilly, right? I'm sure you'll all agree with me. Very good footballer. I mean, like, he's in the England squad. He's starting every week for Man City. Nico O'Reilly is 20 years of age, right? He's 6'4", right? So he's a big, powerful lad, right? Now, Nico O'Reilly made his debut for Manchester City in the first team last season at the age of 19. Not right? 9 league appearances. That is Pep bringing in a young player at 19, not 17, into Manchester City, playing alongside Rodri, Bernardo Silva, right? Erling Haaland, Ruben Diaz, John Stones, yada, yada, yada. That's how you do it. A settled team, a good team, top players around you. What did Pep do? Gives him a game here, drops him out. Gives him a game here, drops him out. Sub this game, not that, right? That's how you do it. But look at him play. I watched him the other night against Newcastle. I thought it was excellent. Strong, powerful. We're talking about dropping in people who are slight, tiny, into the first team. It's a huge, huge difference. Jordan, exactly. Right? You see where, and of course, my mate Matt comes in and has to disagree, but you're not getting it. We all want purist footballers, but the problem is, if you are slight and tiny, you're going to get knocked off the ball easily. Someone like Luca Williams-Barnett would be eaten alive. Someone like Nico O'Reilly can go and match them physically. Right? Leroy, mate, you're just going to go, every comment you're saying is the same thing now. And absolutely this. Absolutely. Nico O'Reilly, as I said, not just physical, technically very good watching him play. Right? Now, this is the difference between being inside the game and not being inside it. They will decide who's ready, we won't. Right? They will decide who's ready based on a number of factors. I want every player to be technically gifted. I love technical footballers. That's what I like a James Maddison. It's why I loved little players like Nico Kranjčar, technical on the ball, really good on the ball, right? Tonight, Atletico have got people like Alex Buena. Technically, that's the type of player I like. The best player of all time for me. The best player of all time. How little was Lionel Messi? Technically, the best player I've ever seen play football, right? But you've got to be ready. You've got to be ready, right? You've got to be ready. And I don't think that enough people are taking this into account. I think a lot of people, they go into chat rooms and they just spout. They just spout. They just spout. But they're not actually taking the time to think about why are decisions being made? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? Right? I'm not a firm believer that every small player can't make it. I don't believe that at all. But if you are a small player, you've got to have something about you. For example, David Silva was a small player. This really good ability to hold players off. Really good ability to do it, right? I'm not going to put him on the same pedestal as Messi. Messi's ability to ride tackles, right? Messi's ability to shield the ball meant that he didn't have to be as strong as the others. He shielded the ball, right? But when you're making your debut, when you're asking to be dropped into central midfield, like somebody like Luca Williams-Barnett at this age, it's a big ask. Now, could we have started him against Doncaster in that game? Maybe. Maybe you go, okay, Doncaster, let's see what Luca Williams-Barnett is made of. Do I want to see Luca Williams-Barnett starting against Liverpool? No, I do not. For him, not for me, for him. For him. Look at the players that are coming through at most clubs. What size are they? What level are they? Right? If you look at Spurs, we've got a lot of smaller players. Like more for me, good. Go out on loan, play at Rangers, bulk yourself up, keep playing. If he needs another year on loan, cool, let him do it. There's no rush. But we want to rush it because we've bought poorly. Now, you know why the other clubs don't rush it? Because they do not buy poorly. Right? They don't buy poorly, so they don't have to have. Arsenal would not need to have this conversation about Luca Williams-Barnett and Mikey Moore, would they? Arsenal are loaning out players better than Luca Williams-Barnett and Mikey Moore. Players like Lewis Skelly, Waneri, they're loaning them out. They don't need to. They don't need to rush it. They don't need to rush Waneri's development. Now, Waneri might make it at Arsenal. He might not. But they don't need to rush it. We're all sitting here as fans going, oh, my God, we haven't bought properly. Right, get Mikey Moore back because we've not bought properly. Get Luca Williams-Barnett in because we've not bought a ball-playing midfielder. And what happens? Why are you talking about players 5 foot? Sorry, do I look 5'4"? Right, one more silly comment, you're going to be blocked. I think your parents dropped you on the head. Good job they did bringing you up. Well done. Players have to be ready is the be-all and end-all. They have to be ready. They have to be ready. Not what the fan wants them to be ready. Look at the list of players I've had over the last however many years, right? Over the last however many years, I have heard Troy Parrott, Marcus Edwards, Marcus Edwards, Dane Scarlett. Who's the I knew their names would go out of my head. Was it Santiago? Everyone was talking about. Who's the double-barreled striker up top that we let go? I think we got him for Chelsea. I've heard Kyle Walker-Peters is going to be the Jake Livermore, Ryan Mason, Nabil Bentaleb, Tommy Carroll, this player, that player, this player, Jamie Donnelly, Keeley, Dorrington, that's in the last few years. I could go back for decades. We do this with everyone. What was it? What's his name? Who was it? The White, the midfielder. Was it White? Jude Sunsop Bell. That's the one I'm looking for. He was Ben. He was decent. He was decent, but you know what I mean. Harvey White. Yep. Savva, please, mate, back me up. Kane over Henry. Henry's the best player that's ever played in the Premier League for me, ever. Sorry. Only my opinion. I think Henry is widely regarded in nearly every poll that takes place as the greatest player that's played in the Premier League. Class, different gravy for me. Anyway, I don't really care. They're both great strikers. I wouldn't say no to either of them. There's just so many, right? There's so many of these young players, and we have these conversations every couple of months, don't we? We have these conversations every couple of months. Which young player? We'll do it in the summer. We'll do it in the summer, right? And people keep pretending. It's the same fans that say, yeah, I really want to sign Tyler Dibbling. And you go, oh, bloody hell. Everyone thinks they know how good every young player is. If a young player is that good, they stand out, right? When a young player is that good, they stand out. They stand out. Unfortunately, we want too many that don't. Guys, I find the whole Henry versus Kane argument a little bit pointless, if we're brutally honest. First of all, they were very different types of footballers. I don't really see the thing. What does it matter? I don't really know what it matters. Two phenomenally great strikers. I don't know what it matters, if we're being honest. But yeah, Del Boy, yeah, the question to me wasn't, did Henry cheat, was it? I don't know what we're doing here. Yeah, growing up, people like Paul McVeigh, Rory Allen, Lee Barnard, we so many. And every year, different Spurs fans pretend a different young player is going to be the one. And very rarely are they the one. Very rarely. Kane was an anomaly, right? Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I don't really do the whole, who's the GOAT? GOAT. When did this come into play? The GOAT. It's absolutely pathetic. Yeah, they're very different players. Yeah, Henry was a forward, not a centre forward. Harry Kane was a out and out number 9. I don't really care. Listen, I think, again, stylistically on the eye, Henry was a joy to watch. He was. And we hate that because he was Arsenal. We hate it, but stylistically, he was a joy to watch. Right? Harry Kane, lethal. Right? Harry Kane, lethal. What are we... I don't know what the argument actually is. They're both world-class footballers. Right? I don't know what the argument is. All I know is, if you go to most polls that have been done for best Premier League player of all time, Henry is at the top of nearly every poll. I didn't make the polls. Matt, I don't care, mate. I don't care. I mean, what an awful way to belittle a top player like Thierry Henry. But again, you are the person that wants Tyler Dibbling. Do you know what I mean? I don't really care. Who cares? Ormri and Kane. What is the argument there, really? What is the argument there, really? I can only say who I prefer. Doesn't mean the other one wasn't world class, right? I think people did this for years with this guy, Messi and Ronaldo. Every conversation, it was like, if you picked one, the fans of the other one took it really personally. Rather than saying, listen, I prefer Messi. In no way does that mean I'm going to sit here and belittle Cristiano Ronaldo and his ability. One of the best players I've ever seen. Just because I prefer Messi, right? It's ridiculous. I think you can tell when the kids are arguing, right? Oh, Matt, never forget Tyler Dibbling. You wanted Tyler Dibbling. Matt, do you know why people get annoyed with you, Matt? You are a contrarian. No matter what is being talked about, I've never seen you go with the grain. You always have to go against it. Whatever the conversation, you have to go against. You're an arse like that. You have to go against the grain. Everyone sees it. It doesn't matter what the conversation, you have to do the opposite. Yeah, Jordan, I always thought it was mad. Like, look, listen, as I said, best player I've ever seen, Lionel Messi. I'm not tribalistic to him. That doesn't mean, like, people, I remember what they used to do when I was on Twitter all those years ago. People would go, I prefer Ronaldo because Messi can't do X, Y, Z. And you're like, well, yes, he can. What? Or I prefer Messi because Ronaldo can't do X, Y, Z. And you're like, hang on, surely, yeah, prefer one of them. But what are we doing trying to diminish two of the greatest footballers that have ever played the sport by trying to find weakness in a game where they don't really have weaknesses, right? Like, how do you do that, right? Like, how do you do that? How can I look at Ronaldo and go, no, well, it's his first touch. Oh, it's his finishing. Oh, what are you actually trying to find weakness in? Two of the greatest footballers that ever lived. Just mad. But hey, listen, each to their own, right? Wayne, he does. I think Matt makes a lot of people look like a football genius. He is truly very, very funny. He is a very funny lad. What makes me laugh is when he comes onto the stream, he then comes off the stream and says, I schooled you. And you're like, what? Like, I didn't understand a word you said, but hey, each to their own. Look, I don't really care for the who's better. Listen, I think if the conversation is ridiculous, like who's better, Harry Kane or Chris Sutton, for example, not a bad striker, by the way, then sure. But when we're arguing Kane and Henry, like what are we doing here? What are we doing? Wouldn't they have been magnificent together? Like, wouldn't it have been magnificent to have seen Kane and Henry together? But listen, you don't get voted over by everyone as the greatest Premier League player of all time if you're not, right? Like, so you just pitch a salt. Oh, God, here we go. You do know some people just see football different. Yeah, but Matt, I could say I'm wearing a black polo top. You will find a way to say it's not. You do it with everything. Everyone sees you every day do this, right? Right? There's nothing wrong with opinion, but you go against the grain on everything. You go against the grain on everything. Everything. If the entire fan base says no to Dibbling, you go, but he's a good player. I want him. Right? You go against the grain on everything. And that's why I think people get frustrated. I've never seen you just go with the flow on anything. Right? Just relax. Right? Just relax. And when you're saying people can't see the quality in Gray, I think people want to see the quality in Gray regularly. But unfortunately for the lad, he's played in 95 different positions. For me, he's another one I don't think physically Gray is ready. I want to see more quality in his feet. Matt, I'm going to ask you this nicely. Could you just go to another stream? I find you really annoying, right? I find you really, really annoying, if I'm honest, mate. Like, you asked me, who do I prefer, Henry or Kane? I said, look, I think for what I like in a footballer, Henry. You went, oh, I should have known. Well, I don't know. Why ask then? Why ask the question? Right? Why ask the question? Right? How can you watch most Premier League pundits say Henry is their greatest ever Premier League player? Why? Ask yourself why. Ask yourself why. Right? He went to Barcelona, right? In their peak. Thierry Henry was bought by Barcelona in their peak. Big up, Wayne. Question, why does nobody make 4-4-2 anymore? Well, you're about to see a team tonight, Athletico, who play a version of it. When we want it playing that way, others said you'll get found out. Play a system that suits your players. And again, right, if anything is to sum up Matt's age, again, Matt, I'm a grown-up. I'm not judging Kane and Henry on me being Spurs and Henry being Arsenal. Right? That's the difference. When you grow up, you'll learn that. Sorry, if people think that's rude. I think if you can only look at it as a Spurs v Arsenal thing, you've lived a very pathetic, sad, sheltered life. Yeah? I wasn't asked as a Spurs fan. I'm asked as a football fan, who did I prefer? For me, I thought Henry was unplayable. I thought he was unplayable, right? Harry Kane, completely different skill set. Absolutely phenomenal striker. But Henry, somebody in the chat put it, he gave players sleepless nights, right? It's not a big deal, right? But if you want me to just pick the Spurs player every time, then what are we doing? Like when people say to me, Saliba or Gabriel, Van der Ven and Romero, Saliba and Gabriel, but you're Spurs. Sure, but the question wasn't, who do I support? The question was, who's the better centre-back partnership? No, see, dude, right, I'm going to get rid of you now. This is where, right? For you, Kane and Henry is 50-50. Right? Matt, I'm an adult. Dude, when you move out of your mum's house, when you get a real job, when you pay a mortgage, you'll realize life doesn't work like this. Life doesn't work that, oh, I'm Spurs, I must pick the Spurs person. Stop. I'm giving you a warning now. Please stop. You're being a child. I don't want children in here. Yeah, Scott, we're not allowed logic and thinking. These young viewers on YouTube don't want logic and thinking. That's like saying, right now, who am I picking? Am I picking Rodrigo Bentancur or Declan Rice? Oh, it's got to be Bentancur because he's Spurs, right? Who am I picking, Vicario or Raya? I'm picking Vicario because he's Spurs, right? Like, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Anyway, so tonight we're going to find out, won't we, what the 11's going to be. No doubt that our mate Igor Tudor will put a few square pegs in a few round holes, of course. But as I said, we'll see. We will see what happens tonight. We will see what happens tonight. I'll go back to the question at the beginning of the show. Is it a welcome distraction for some? Is it an unwelcome distraction for some? Right? All I know is this. All I know is this. There's no one in that team tonight where I go, cool, can't wait to see you. And that's how this conversation all started. There's no one in that team where I go, cool. Really looking forward to seeing you play. Angus, Big up, my man. How you doing? I know you had a lot going on with family, so I do hope that you are dealing with it, have dealt with it. Good to hear from you, my man. Nice to see you back. You've been missed. Yeah. Do you know what? I think this is a great point. No, the chat hasn't become nasty, mate. Right? The chat hasn't become nasty, Matt. You're being childish. This is the problem. Some people want to talk about football as football fans. You go, oh, you're not a real Spurs fan because you don't think he's better than the Arsenal player. Mate, I'm a grown-up. I don't live life like that. You're like one of those parents who just lies to their kids, right? Just lies to their kids and therefore actually does more harm than good. Right? Look, I will, by the way, these comments always make me laugh. Can you at least try and get, what does that mean? Like, what, can I ask what that means? Can you at least try and get behind? What does that mean? I'm watching the game on YouTube. What is it that you think I'm doing from YouTube that they're seeing in the stadium? I don't know, man. I don't know. Look, guys, I don't know about you. Look, I'm a bit meh tonight. I don't really think it matters either way. We're not winning the Champions League. We could say a win gives us confidence. Hang on, let me just block these trolls. Honestly, these trolls are everywhere. It's absolutely ridiculous. Right, this guy's going to go as well. Sorry, what is going on? What is going on? We could say a win might give us confidence, but we've heard that before. We've heard that before, right? And nothing seems to give us confidence. And you know, the problem for me is what we're seeing right now isn't a confidence issue. And I know a lot of people purely think it is. I think what we're seeing right now is a quality issue. I think what we're seeing is a real lack of quality. And it's been going that way for years. I'm not changing my mind on that. When we win a game, it doesn't change my mind on that. We'll see what happens, won't we? We'll see what happens. Do you know what's always made me laugh, right? I always feel that, where are we? Yeah, I always feel that when people talk about negative, I like this as a word. When people say negative, it's almost as though telling the truth is now seen as illegal in this world. Telling the truth is just not wanted. Do you know what I mean? We bury our heads in the sand, not Spurs fans. I mean, in life, we bury our heads in the sand always. Can't say that. That's not nice. Right? That's not nice. You can't tell the truth. You know, I've been forced this year to people wanting me to want the players to be better than they are. Sure, we can do that. But how many performances do I have to watch from poor players before we're actually allowed to go, yeah, this isn't good. They're not good, are they? But no, they're better than what we're seeing. Oh, my God, I've heard this. I don't know how many times I have to hear this. They're better than what they're seeing. Can anyone give me evidence? No, but they're better than what we're seeing, in my opinion. Oh, the opinion that they're better than what we're seeing. Brilliant. As a collective, there is no proof they're better than what we're seeing. As a collective, this is what they've been for years. A team that loses a lot of games. As a collective. Are there a few individual players who will be better than we're seeing? Sure. But as the collective, as a cohesive team, this is what they are. Or, sorry, not as a cohesive team, this is what they are. Paul, and this is it. I used to watch so many of the Spurs channels, and it was just smoke being blown up players' arses all the time. Look how much we blow smoke up players that have done nothing. As I saw the other day, Matisse Tell's got like 1 assist in 42 Premier League games. I'm going, oh, but if he had played more, what? 42 games, one Premier League assist. This is the levels we're at, right? This is the levels. Like, as I said, I hope Archie Gray goes on to be a top player for Spurs. Got nothing against the lad. Just so far, I can't get excited because I see, oh, he was the best of a bad bunch against Palace. All right, cool. Best of the bad bunch in one game. I've seen many games where he is the bad bunch. But we get excited, don't we? We've been so conditioned to poor footballers now that we're getting excited when an average player does something. Like, this is the problem. Oh, yeah, how many years, these last 2 years I've been arguing with everyone about Tells, the Odebergs. I don't want those signing for Spurs. But sure, but not a Spurs, not my club. Like, sure, go and do it at a lower. But look, I don't know. I just don't know what to think anymore about Tottenham. All the reports, Spurs are having a mega clear out. We're going to go for more seasoned pros in the summer. Would I love it to be true? Yes. Is it true? I don't know. We hear it every year. Did anyone read this report yesterday? I think Matt Law put it out. I don't know if anyone actually read the report, right? And it was just basically saying, let me see if I can get it. Bear with me 1 second. Let me see if I can get it, and we'll go through it together. Where are we? Okay, so it was Matt Law, I'm pretty sure. Let me see if I can find this. Matt Law. There we go. Right. Was it the Spurs exclusive? No, not that one. Tottenham plan. Yeah, here we go. A Tottenham plan major summer overhaul. Let me see if I can get this to read it sometimes. Okay. Right. Okay. Oh, to continue. Oh, God. Why did they do this? I can't read it. I can't read it. I don't have an account. I'm not getting an account to the Telegraph or whatever this is. Basically, let me see if I can get the report on my phone. Bear me 1 second. One second, people. Bear with me. Is it 17 hours ago? It was about there, about Matt Law. Why can you never find something you want? Anyway, but basically, this report was basically saying that Tottenham are going to have a complete overhaul in the summer. Not many of the first team were going to be kept. A few of the sprinkling of young players, a few of the senior players. And that Tottenham were going to start to target 25 to 30-year-olds, essentially, and stop going down this route of buying kids. Now, brilliant if that's the case, but is that the case? I don't know. We hear this all the time, but is it the case? Yeah, look, Gavin, look, I think with this, listen, again, I've got nothing against Flav. I mean, I've got nothing against Flav or the fighting cock. And when people say they can see something in them, that's brilliant. We can all say that. And then maybe one of them comes good and maybe one of them doesn't. But what about right now? What about right now? Like, why aren't we for right now? Like, why did we spend, you think we spent 70 million on Telenodeber in the last year? 70 million for those two when you could have gone and bought a proper top player at 70 million. So I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, I maybe buy one of them. After you've bought Odeberg, do you really need to then go and get Tell? Bring in Odeberg, get him behind the top winger and let him learn. But what we're doing now, I see it in people a mile off. They're trying so hard for their agenda on players that if they just do one good thing, they go, there you go. And it's like, yeah, but what about each week, each game, each minute of the game? Where's the standards? Why is the bar doing one thing every couple of weeks? Where's the performances? So I don't know. Let me do some super chats, guys and girls. Big up to Dean Law. Thank you very much. Dean Law with a super sticker. Really appreciate you, Dean. That is very, very much appreciated. Thank you very much, Dean. You're a very generous man. So is AJC Tottenham. So top man, Sav, thanks for the content. Thank you very much. Really, really do appreciate that, my man. Thank you very much. Big up to Pedavati. Said Sav, Aka for today. Galatasaray, Atletico, Bayern and Barca. I've not looked at an Aka yet. Galatasaray, Liverpool. I don't know if I'd touch that game. I don't know. It's a lot of aways for me. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'll have a look. Accas for me, I normally like to add in a couple from the Championship and the League One. So I'll have a little look at the Aka later on. I'll have a little look a bit later on. Big up to you. I really appreciate that. And big up to John Turney with a super sticker. Thank you very much, buddy. Look, guys and girls, I'm going to leave it there because we're back at 6:30. No doubt we'll be back and Marius will be telling us whatever the 11 is that he didn't like that particular 11. But it is what it is. Guys, girls, I'm going to see if I can send you over to anywhere. Maybe I get the buzz and the bug for it a little bit later. Where are we? Customization, redirect. Are there any Spurs YouTubers going? I can't see any YouTubers going. Am I being an idiot? Let me have a look. I can't see any. Anyone see anyone live? Here we go. I'm going to the live. I'm live. Bubba the Love Sponge. I mean, he's live, whoever that is in America. Fuse on Sport. Can't see anyone I know that's live. I can't see anyone. I'll tell you what, I'll send you over to a random channel, right? I'm going to send you over to Everton Daily. Why not? They're the only ones live. Toffee TV, sod it. Let me see if I can find Toffee TV. Sod it. Toffee TV. I can't even find it. This is hilarious. No, I'm not set up. I've got no one I'm going to send you over to. Guys, girls, much love. I'll see you tonight about 6:30. Much love. Take care. And, Ben, you're live in 30 minutes. All righty then. Let me, I'll send everyone there and then please smash the like button and, where are you? 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 Why is he not coming up? There it is. Is that today's? The Coffee Company, 10th of March. Oh, it's my brother's birthday. Big up to you. Get over to Ben. Ben, go live. I'm sending you all over to Ben and the Coffee Company. Smash the like button. Please subscribe to him. Much love. And as always, Enoch out and come on, you Spurs.